I mean, there's an interview too.
Huh?
There's a second interview.
What do you mean?
The other one that we did.
What second interview?
The first one, like when we practiced, like a while back.
Oh yeah.
And that's like a remake.
That is true.
Like a
Alright.
remake.
Alright, bro. So what's good, guys? This is a one-on-one session with my boy Angel. I'm gonna start doing this thing where I interview people, my close friends at first, and then later on, if we have more people, we'll have them here and just talk about like themselves, you know, interview them in depth about like their life, about their goals and all that. So today like I said, we're starting off with my boy Angel. He's my roommate. He's a local artist. He does clothing. He also does video a little bit. He's into a lot of things that are similar to mine. So
everything.
So that's why I feel like it was a must to have him first here, and just kind of like explain himself a little bit to you guys. He also wants to kind of switch over his whole like page into something different. So hopefully this interview helps him with that, you know, because he's trying to take his whole page into another level. Mm-hmm. So here we are for that. So introduce yourself.
I mean, for those of y'all that don't know me, my name's Angel. Introducing myself, I guess I could say I'm just like an artist or a creator. I just love, you know, designing clothes, working on different projects, small projects.
So I think the first question will be, who are you? And I'm not just asking you like, tell me your name and age. I want you to be in depth about who are you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's hard. I feel like for me, describing myself, I guess I could say like a young kid who is always striving for more stuff. Like I'm always striving for better. I feel like for my age, my mentality is like really, like I'm exceeded the mentality I should be at for my age, because I'm always trying to gain more, like surpass everything else I do. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I do art. I create a lot of art. I just love going out and being with like different creators, you know, like yourself, like photographer, videographer, mm-hmm. Other people that do music. So I just love being in that sense of, you know, like entrepreneur, creative, like field, you know, where everyone has different talents and they're just trying to connect with each other. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like as years went on, that's kind of where I found myself more, and I feel like now I'm more comfortable like in that, I guess, field or lifestyle, you know, that I'm trying to live in.
I get you. Yeah. So, all right, bro. I have another question for you, and I feel like this one, it will explain a lot about your life, you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, like you told me, the reason why you wanted to do this in the first place was to explain a little bit more in depth. But I want to know, what are your roots? I want to know where you come from, mm-hmm. and basically like, what are the things that made you the person you are now?
Mm-hmm. I mean, where I came from, you know, like Pacoima, a small city in LA. Mm-hmm. It's really a city where, you know, it's low income people. Mm-hmm. A lot of families, you know, go there, you know, don't have that much money, you know, family with like a lot of kids, really just to make like a better life for their kids, you know.
Yeah. So
coming from there, that's where I grew up at, you know, with my mom and then my siblings. We got like 8 siblings, so at one point it was like all of us under one roof, and then little by little, you know, we all grew up older, started going our own separate ways. But yeah, coming from a city like that, you know, you learn I don't know, like
humble.
Yeah, you learn to humble yourself. You know, you learn it really like matters to you in life, and then what, you know, you go to different paths growing up in an environment like that. You know, it's not always, you know, rainbows and butterflies there. So
of course,
you obviously see the bad side of things and the good side. But I feel like growing up, it kind of just like it makes you who you are. You know, like that kind of will mold you to be who you are. So coming from that, I feel like from that kind of environment, that's kind of what gives me the mentality I have now, and like the ambitions I have now is, you know, to like make sure I stay, you know, like exceeding that, and then people who still live there, you know, kids that live there, hopefully, you know, they, you know, learn to like take all those challenges and, you know, in the future they can overcome whatever they want to do, or, you know, be whatever the fuck they want to be, you know, like that.
I get that, bro.
Mm.
So, what got you into fashion? Because I feel like that's probably the biggest part of your life, you know, fashion.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't always into fashion. Like when I was little, you know, coming from, like I said, like an environment like that, we didn't have money to buy, you know, the best clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I used to wear, you know, the 3 for $20 shoes, you know, hand-me-downs, a lot of hand-me-downs, thrift store stuff. But my mom always tried to get like the best clothes for me as possible, you know. So I feel like up until I was, you know, I guess high school, when I started working, making my own money, I was able to start buying the things I really wanted, you know, like the clothes I really wanted, the shoes I really wanted. So I feel like up until that time, that's when I started, you know, transforming my style a bit more, getting more comfortable with what I wear. You know, I also skateboarded a lot when I was younger, so I feel like that street style, that skatewear, you know, that baggy clothing and all that, I just fell in love with it. So like,
How long did you skate?
for like 4 years. Well, all of high school I skated. I still skate now, so it's still going now. So like, it's just something like once I started, like, it kind of just
Became part of you?
it became a part of me, and it molded my personality as well, my fashion sense, you know. So everything the way I dress now, I could give like big props to like when I was skating and stuff. Yeah.
Understandable. Okay, so we covered a little bit of your background, and we covered like a very brief story about you, but I want to know, what were the obstacles you had that led you to be the person you are now?
I mean, growing up, I had a lot of obstacles, bro. Like, it's a lot. I don't know where to start. Like, I don't know where you want me to start.
You can start with the simple stuff, the more like
The simple
the
stuff.
stuff that you could, like, you overcame easily.
I feel like the simple stuff would be more like, since my mom's, you know, a single mom, I guess just like trying to get used to, you know, not her always being there because she's always working.
Yeah.
So at the same time, my dad was never around either, so it was kind of more like me and my siblings were the ones watching out for each other. You know, my mom was supportive, you know, she'll get us with everything we wanted, but at the end of the day, it was all of our siblings that would like help each other out.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's one of them, you know, just getting used to that environment, living that, you know, because I'll be seeing other kids or whatever, like, you know, they have, you know, like their parents around and stuff. You know, I don't know for everyone, you know, right? But for the more so, you know, I don't know what they were living, like the lifestyle they were living.
Yeah.
So I was me like, just kind of holding that back, like, oh, I have to go home and like eat whatever my mom had there for that day, stuff like that, you know. So I guess that kind of humbled me too, you know. I never really expected anything big. So
do you think that's part of the reason why you are very dependent?
Independent? Yeah. I mean, I was also like a troublemaker growing up. So I was always, you know, I didn't have the best choices growing up. So I was always out in the streets and stuff. So
You're the second to youngest, right?
yeah, I'm the second youngest, yeah.
Okay.
So like being a skateboarder at a young age, I feel like most people that skate will know kind of like where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You know, you're always in the street growing up and you're just out in the world. So I feel like that, and like seeing different things in life, you know, the good side and the bad side of everything. I feel like that's why I'm more independent.
Yeah.
Because at a young age, I was always out on my own, you know. What else? From there, I don't know, from there I could say like growing up, like towards my high school year. Well, everything that led up to my high school year, right? Everything that led up to my high school year, it was like just me trying to stay in school, but skating and getting into like drugs, getting into what else could I say, like going out to parties, drinking at a young age, you know. I feel like that like scared me away from like what I wanted to do in life. Like I wasn't really focusing on myself anymore. I was kind of just focusing on, living that social life, going out and partying, drinking, all that stuff, right? So
I have a question. What was the first thing that you tried?
like drugs.
Yeah, like if drugs, or was it alcohol or drugs, or
The first thing I tried was drugs. Well, it was weed. I first started smoking weed a lot. From there, it was I started taking like like edibles and then like pills. From there, it was like Xanax. What else? I tried like different stuff. I don't want to get into it.
No,
I don't
you're
want to get too into it, but
no, you're good. You're good.
let's just say like
At around what age did you start doing that?
let's just say around ninth grade.
So you were like.
So I was
14?
like 14, 15, and I feel like that's bad. Like starting to do drugs at the time, it could really like.
Well, you come from a place where
Yeah.
it's available. So I think
Yeah.
it happens. It's not,
Yeah.
you shouldn't blame yourself for that. But continue with your story.
Yeah. So I guess like ninth grade, that's when I got into drugs. I was 14, 15, like I said. Nothing too crazy, but it was enough stuff to really distract you from what was really important.
Yeah.
So from there, that's when, as the years went by, I still smoked, because I was always skating, I was drinking. It kind of like took me away from like focusing on like my education and all that. But then, I don't know where I just came to a realization where life just hit me hard at one point, and that's when I had quit. I sobered up. I got my shit together. I started hanging out with my friends again, focusing on school. That was about like 11th grade, so I was about like 17 years old when I kind of got my shit together. And yeah, everything was cool, everything was going well. I thought, I was finally on my track again. And then that's when I kind of had like a hard year where I guess that's kind of like when I hit you up for the interview, it's like to get this out into the world, right? So that's why I don't know if y'all could tell, like it's really hard for me to say it.
Yeah, no, bro.
But
just know that this is something that like literally not a lot of people know. So I think him bringing it out to you guys, to the public, it's rough, but
it's just something that I kind of try to hide a lot, It's something I hid for like 3 years, 2 years.
yeah.
And even when I was going through it, I was hiding it from like the closest people in my life,
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like I've just had it stored up in me that trying to get it out, it's just like, it gets you, right?
Yeah.
But at the point of this interview is to, get this out, get this out of my system. So basically my senior year, I think I was turning 18. So like I said, everything was going good. I thought my life was back on track. But then that's when I guess something hit me where I was just like physically, like health-wise, I was like, what's going on with my body? Like I didn't know what to think of it, I started feeling different. I really wasn't able to focus. So then I went to go get checked out, and then I ended up finding out I had cancer. So, from going to getting my life on track to only enjoying like 6 to 7 months, to then finding out I have cancer, like shit hit me hard. So from there, I don't know, I just really didn't know how to take it all in. So
Yeah.
the best way for me was to just block everyone out of my life, So I started just dropping a lot of friends. I didn't really go and answer to why. I just kind of just blocked them out of my life, just dropped them. Just went ghost on a lot of people. I left the school I was at. No one really knew why I left. I had to make up different excuses, but I ended up leaving. And my excuse was always like, I'm gonna transfer to another school, play further. I was playing soccer, so I was like, I'm gonna go play soccer for that new school, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I went to that school. I was still, going there, right? And still knowing that I had cancer. And I was meeting new people there, and, they didn't really know what I was going through. Like, I never really brought it up.
Yeah.
So from that new school I was there about a month, 2 months. And that's when I noticed it was really getting that serious. So that's when I went back to get evaluated again, and they were like, yeah, you have to like take action now before it gets even worse, because it's already at a, I think I was at a stage 4 or stage 5 of what I had, so it was really, really serious. So from there I was like, all right, like, yeah, I have to do something. So I dropped out of that school too. I went through chemotherapy, like radiation. I was in the hospital in and out for a while. I was at the hospital for about like 4 months maybe, just literally in a room taking medication all day. And yeah, I feel like I wish I could explain a lot of what I saw in there, but I feel like being in that moment, just laying in bed where no one really knows what you're going through, Yeah. Like, I still have like social media, so I'm seeing everyone posting stuff, like living their life, and then I'm in bed, just
Going through the worst.
going through the worst shit,
Chapter
having like IVs through my arm connected to my heart, getting like 7 to 8 different types of chemotherapy in your body, and not really telling anyone what the fuck you're going through. Like, literally, I didn't tell anyone. Not even my closest friends knew up until I actually told them. But yeah, during that time, I was just like literally in depression for a bit. I was working out and stuff, so right when that happened, like, I got just really slim. I literally lost my whole physique. Like, my face went pale. If anyone that's gone through cancer or know anyone that gone through cancer, you know that when you have chemotherapy, you start losing your hair. You start losing your eyebrows, fucking, like your skin tone changes. It's crazy, literally. So for me not to tell anyone, it was just me literally like bottling up all that. All that, But yeah, from there, I guess, I don't know. There's still a lot more that happened, like, during that time. I just don't know how to say it. Like I thought that was the worst that happened, right? But yet, like, at that time I was dating someone, and then I had to, drop her. Like, I had to get her out of my life, because for me it was more like an embarrassment for her to be with someone like me going through that, and I didn't want her put her through that. I don't know, I feel like in my eyes I saw it that way, and it was like, I don't know, it was like hard for me to let someone go that I liked, but I just, I had to do it. So going from like being on your own to losing someone you really cared about, it hit you even more, right? But then, yet to not even that being the worst, like, I ended up losing my dad the same fucking year I was going through cancer. So like right when, everything was, I guess, getting better, my dad ended up passing away, and I was just literally just still sitting there in bed, like thinking, why the fuck is like everything happening to me, Like, why is this a year where everything just hitting me hard?
You were turning 18, or you had already turned 18?
I was turning 18, yeah. I think I was already 18, still going through cancer. I think towards almost when I guess everyone was graduating high school, that's when I was kind of still going through the process, but I had got all my medicine all at once, That's another thing, like, I kind of had them give me everything fast. Like, some people like taking small doses at once, but I kind of just wanted to get it all out the way, so I had them give me the most doses they can just to finish it off fast. So I feel like that's why it was another reason why I felt like shit, my body like changed so quickly and stuff. For that reason. But yeah, my dad passed away. I dropped out of school. I wasn't going to school for like 2 years. I think almost 2 years or a year and a half. And right when I was about to go back, I had to get all my schoolwork done. So that was the only way for me to graduate. So I had to like go back to school, finish everything in a month, literally just packets on packets, to do all that shit. At the same time going to the hospital and still getting like radiation. That's like the end of, I guess, chemo or whatever. They put you like in an x-ray thing where like, I really don't know what it does, but it's fucking hot in there. They're just taking x-rays of your fucking shit.
Damn, bro.
It's literally like just heat hitting you. So, and like they inject some fluid in your body, so like you burn up, and it kind of just shows whatever everything's at. But yeah, from there, I guess, you know, I just went back to school, got my shit together. I was still going through cancer, you know, everyone was asking like, where you been at? I would just be like I was just homeschooled, bro. Like I didn't want to be at school, you know, making up some lies, you
I
know.
believe that even when I met you, I remember that you had told, like, when we got a little closer, you told me about your story. And you like, I remember you told me, you're like, yeah, I transferred schools because I was gonna play soccer. Like,
Yeah.
it never really crossed my mind that you had gone through anything like that.
Yeah.
And even then, also, I believe when I met you, you had short hair, which I'm guessing is because
well, that's
you
the
weren't
reason.
able to grow hair yet. So,
Yeah, it was just slow, you know. I was bald at one point. I was literally like, I was just bald, bro. Just rocking beanies.
yeah.
Just rocking beanies, rocking hats. Even if it was fucking hot, I was wearing beanies. When I went back to school, it was so weird. Like, my hair was barely growing. It was really short. And yet, people didn't know, like, what the fuck I came back with, you know, or, like, what's going through. So, like, I went to prom. I think that's one thing I made it to prom. Like, I was like, I at least got to experience prom. But that's not even the thing. I wasn't even going to go to prom, bro. I wasn't even going to go to, like, my senior prom or anything. But there was someone, you know, I guess someone that kind of just motivated me to go. They invited me to go with them. So I was all like, yeah, you know. That was kind of like the only reason why I went.
Yeah.
And then from there, that's when, like, you know, I guess high school ended. You're transitioning to, like, college, you know. And from there, like, I let everyone go, you know. Everyone from high school, I don't talk to them anymore. Just my close friends, really. But still, at that point, no one really knew what I was going through. I still didn't tell anyone. It kind of like, it was more like I went through all that, but, like, I didn't even, like, acknowledge either myself, you know. Like if it was, like, I didn't even go through that at one point. Like, I always forget sometimes, too, that I went through that.
There's a term for that. It's a psychology term, but I know what you mean. So you kind of like, it's you suppressing your memories because
Yeah,
you
like,
don't
I
to go
kind
back to
of,
those things.
yeah, like, I feel like it's bad at one point because it catches up to you.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like, it catches, and I feel like me trying to hide it for so long, and me trying to, even myself, try to act like it never existed. I feel like that's why now it, like, comes up, you know. Like, I always get reminded, like, damn, I really went through that shit. Or, like, I see someone going through something similar, and I could like, connect with them, right? But I can't even tell them that because it's so hard for me to get it out when I could be helping them. So I feel like a big part of me putting this out there is to tell people, like, yo, like, I've gone through shit too, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I have this personality, or, like, this, I try to keep this image where, like, I've never gone through shit.
Yeah.
Or, like, everything's good, you know? Like, I'm living life, everything's good. But nah, like, there's a lot that, you know, everyone goes through that they don't really show. You know, they don't really show that side of what they go through.
Yeah, of course.
So I feel like that's why, you know, I feel like it was time for me to put that out there, you know? Like, tell people, like, yo, I've gone through this. Like, if you've gone through anything deep, like, you're not the only one, you know? Like, if I could overcome that, and get back to what I was doing, and now I'm me being able to help other people, I feel like anyone could, you know, despite whatever they want to do, like, if they're going through some shit, they could fucking overcome it. They could talk about it. They could share their experience, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it should be something that really builds their character, so they shouldn't be embarrassed about it like I was. And I feel like it's really important for, like, people to see that side of you, you know?
You can tell you're maturing, you know, when you're able to talk about your things, you know. It's understandable, like, that you didn't want to talk about it for so long. And I want to just say that, like, it's okay that you didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
But you're doing it now, you know. You're putting it out there, you know, and you're trying to get a good, positive outcome out of your situation and explain that to people. And I think that's something that you should be proud of, you know, something that a lot of people don't do, you know. So, like, yeah, like, some people go through a lot of stuff and they never even talk about it, you know. But it's been a long time, you know. It's been, what, like, over 4 years probably?
That I've gone through that?
Yeah.
I think, like, 2.5, actually. Like, almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years,
yeah,
right?
because I just went to the doctors recently. That's another thing, like, literally behind my friends' backs or whatever, I go to the clinic. No one knows where I'm at, you know? And it's literally me just going, get checked out, and it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like it's something like where you sit down and you really think about like I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it.
You think sometimes you feel like you don't have support.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, like, it's like,
But it's just
like I'm
you
sitting
can't
there
talk
on my
to people.
own, you know, at the doctor's office. I'm sitting there on my own, and it's like, damn, my friends really don't know where I'm at.
Yeah.
Or like they think I'm out getting food, but I'm really over at the clinic, like getting checked out for my heart or for my lungs, you know? And yeah, I feel it's like you don't really have that support, but I feel like at the end of the day, it's kind of my fault because I really didn't tell anyone, or no one really knows what I'm going, or what I've gone through, what I'm going through, you know, so.
Of course, yeah.
So,
But it's fine, you know. Like I said, it's something that the fact that you're putting it out here and you're letting people like know, I feel like you're gonna get the support because regardless of anything, you always had that support. Yeah, maybe not with this specific topic, but you know that there's a lot of people like me. There's a lot of people in our group that are really close to you and that will always try to support you. You know, so like I gotta say that I'm proud of you, bro, because like I said, it's something super hard for you to talk about. You know, it's not something that like you can just throw in a conversation randomly, you know. So
I mean, that's how you found out.
that wasn't by you though.
That's
Think
how you
about
found out.
It wasn't by you. So like, you know, it would probably been a secret for longer if I would have known that, you know. So
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, most people that know, which is not a lie, it's probably about like 7 people, my friends I really know, it was probably the same way. It was either it accidentally came up or they just saw something that led to them to know.
yeah,
So I feel like at the end of the day, it's all for a reason, you know. I feel like it was kind of just, it's time for me to just put it out there already.
yeah.
That's it.
It's a way to kind of like maybe not close your chapter, but more like open new opportunities for you to grow. Because like I said, mentally you are growing by explaining this to the world, you know. And like I said, it also brings a lot of support, because I know it will, you know. I know it will bring a lot of support for you, and to your goals, you know. It will help you get bigger, you know. So it's a good thing, bro. It's a good thing that you're actually being honest, not just to the world but to yourself, you know. Because sometimes it's tough to not talk about your things, you know.
Yeah.
And like you said, it kind of catches up to you. You know, the more you suppress those feelings, the more you suppress those memories, it just starts catching up. But like I said, it's never a wrong time for you to like come to someone, talk about it. There's never a wrong time when you want to talk and just explain how you feel, you know. So it's a big step, bro. It really is, you know. So yeah, bro. I mean, I think I feel like the beginning of the interview, like people are gonna be like, oh, let's just random interview. But I know as you get by, and you start listening to what you're saying, people are gonna be like, damn, like it's actually meaningful, you know. It's not just.
I mean, the idea behind this interview, I guess, the reason I like reached out to you and told you I want to do this, because I feel like it's something that was hidden for so long.
Yeah.
But that's really the main reason why I do what I do, and why I'm so like, I guess, you know, like what motivates me to do what I do.
Yeah.
Like the meaning behind everything I do, like what carries all that passion.
What's driving you to?
It's what's driving me for what I do. Yeah.
Goals.
So I feel like in order for me to grow, you know, for me to grow and for my brand and everything else I want to grow, that really had to come out. So people really know like the true like meaning that drives behind it, you know.
The true intentions of your work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. So then I guess, you know, how do you tie that whole experience to your brand, the Graffiti, you know? Because I feel like this is the main chapter right now in your life.
Yeah.
Just getting that brand up, and I want to know, what is it that made you get into it, you know?
I mean, my brand, the meaning behind it is not, I feel like graffiti has like a big negative connotation where like you hear graffiti and you start thinking like he's like representing like vandalism and like tagging and like people who just tag on businesses and stuff or like go out just to like you know like vandalize random stuff, right? I feel like no, like the reason I chose that name is because yeah, it has a negative connotation where like people will really look at it and be like, what is this guy supporting? But then the people who really support me and really know me, they know the deeper meaning behind that brand, So like only those that really support it will really know the deeper meaning to it. So I feel like that's why I chose that name. So it really has like that big powerful like message under it.
Yeah.
But that message is more like, me coming from like an LA environment, right? I lived in Los Angeles all my life, California, right? Skating being a big part of my life. Skating around, that's all I saw, graffiti in the walls, different murals, different artwork on the wall. And the city I grew up in, there's a lot of that too. So instead of me, growing to hate it, I ended up just growing to love it. It kind of just brings so much color to the city, so much like vibrant colors to the environment,
Yeah.
Whether it's someone's name, or someone's message or someone's like I said, mural, like someone's, big painting. It's more of a reflection of what they're feeling that day, whatever they felt that day, that's what they put out there. Like they could be feeling great and, they put so much effort just writing their name on the wall, They put so much colors and all this detail into it, and that's like their passion,
Yeah.
That's them expressing like their, the way they feel or letting out all their stress right there, That's something they could focus on. Or like if someone's painting a mural, it's whatever idea they came up with that day or whatever project they've had in the works for a while, That's just their artwork right there, literally. And I feel like a lot of people don't really realize how much, all these murals and all this graffiti, in the world, I guess, really brightens up the city. Like, you could see that, you could see it as a bad way, but then I like to see it in a positive way, Like I said, it really brightens up the city, it gives it color. There's so many people that literally love just taking photos with graffiti,
Yeah.
Kind of just that urban lifestyle, that urban style,
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like, I guess coming where I come from, seeing that in my life, growing up with that around me, I feel like that's why, like, I guess that's what made my brand what it is. Me skating, loving streetwear, that's kind of what my brand's all about, being comfortable in what you like, being comfortable wearing what you like, comfortable clothes, and really just owning up to, or like owning up to where you came from, basically. Like if you come from an environment where that's all around you, embrace it, like embrace that environment, be proud of where you came from, and take that with you, like in whatever you do. But being said, that's kind of like why I chose that.
I think it's also a way for you to express your own feelings,
Yeah,
like just like you said, I feel like the way you're putting out your brand is also a way of you expressing how you're feeling that specific time, where
exactly, yeah.
where you're dropping, whether it's a shirt, a pin, a hat, whatever you're dropping, you put a lot into it, and I feel like that's why, it's...
Yeah, like I said, a lot of people, when they like, I guess, like, what's that word? I guess when a lot of people introduce me, they, I guess, consider me like a designer or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's what they always say, but I don't consider myself that. I consider myself just an artist, because I love art in like any aspect, whether it's like abstract art, sculptures, different stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like in this brand that I want to create, it's not really just only like, merch pieces or like screen printing on it or whatever. I also do a lot of like drawing and painting, so I want to put that in my brand as well,
Yeah.
One-of-one customs, that's kind of what I started off doing. So I want to just keep incorporating that into this brand, having people have one-of-one customs to their own personal, their own personal, what's that word? Like their own personal I guess whatever they like, you know. I don't explain it.
Their own personal taste.
Yeah, their own personal taste, their own personal style, you know. They reach out to me, tell me like, yo, make this for me. I'll be like, yeah, cool. Like, one of one, you know, only you're gonna have it.
Yeah.
So I feel like incorporating that into my brand too as well. And in the future, you know, not only being clothes, my future goal is to have like an art gallery. So I want to have an art gallery, you know, sell, I guess, some of my artwork there. I like to call my clothing artwork. So my artwork there.
Yeah.
As well as support other people that are trying to do the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
Whether it's, you know, they create canvases, clothes, shoes, anything. I want to have that gallery where like anyone could come out to me, show me their work, and I'll be like, yo, yeah, I could, you know, I could put it here for you, you know. I could, what's that word? I could showcase it for you, basically. Yeah. Like, yo, bring your work to me. I could showcase it here for you. Whenever people walk in, they'll be like, who made that? I'll be like, oh, this guy, like, check him out. Mm-hmm. Like, he's a, you know, he's a young creator here in LA. Like, have all the information there, you know. So not only me growing, but I want to help other people in the future grow. You know, other young influencers, other young creators grow as well.
Yeah.
Basically.
Where do you see your brand in 5 years? Or how about this? I want you to tell me, where do you see your brand by the end of this year, and where do you see your brand in 5 years?
By the end of this year, hopefully, just growing more. Like, I want more people to just wear my stuff. I want to be able to go out and like see people like, yo, like, he got my hat, or like, yo, he's wearing one of my tees.
Yeah.
And just, I guess, just have it, you know, I don't know. Just have my brand at a certain level where I'm more satisfied with it. Like right now, I'm still not happy with where I am.
Yeah.
So I feel like by the end of this year, I want it at a certain level where I'm happy where it is, you know. Okay. So right now, like, I'm literally just trying to just work towards it, build it up more, and in 5 years, hopefully, you know, like I said, I have that art gallery. I'm a very impatient person, so that's why I'm always working to get there. I know it's kind of bad because I got to be patient, right?
Yeah.
But in 5 years, hopefully the goal is to have that art gallery, being able to like showcase not only my work, but all of my friends' work, people I don't know as well, you know, meet new connections that way.
Yeah,
hopefully being able to showcase other people and meet more people through that, and just have, you know, different events where I could, you know, showcase my art and other people be happy to wear it, you know, and be satisfied with it and know like the true meaning behind it, you know. That's basically it.
Sounds good, bro. Well, I want you to tell the audience, you know, the people that are watching this, tell them one thing that got you through the worst chapter of your life, and tell them one thing that got you through just bad things in general, you know. So
I guess the most important thing for me was just having faith in everything I do. Like, I'm a religious person, you know. Like, I got the cross right here. You know, everything that my mom told me growing up, it kind of just stuck with me, you know.
Yeah.
So, and her words were always just like, have faith in everything you do, and don't forget who you are, basically. So I think that's kind of just what stuck with me. And like I said, you know, embrace wherever you come from. So use that as like your mold or whatever. Use that as like your grounding.
Yeah. So
like, you know where you're from and you know where you got to get to, you know. And I feel like when I was going through all that, yeah, I was depressed, right? But at the same time, I was focused on like, you know, I gotta get through this shit. Like it can't end here, you know. I still got a lot for myself, and I'm going to get there. So it's just staying positive and, you know, holding on to whatever you want to do. Like, whatever the fuck you go through, like, you're gonna get wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
But as long as you have that mentality and that strong mentality where you know like nothing's gonna break this, I feel like that's the most important thing, you know. Just staying strong, staying positive, and just having that. It's this energy where it's kind of like a fuck it energy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the terms I like to use. I just like call it like a fuck it energy.
Yeah. All right, bro. So basically, I think think this was a really good interview. This is the first one I'm doing,
Yeah.
and I'm planning to do this more often. You know, I already have somebody else that wants to do it next, and like I said, I'm really thankful that you came to me to interview you, because it's also helping me to grow. You know, it's also helping me getting more comfortable with the camera, and also putting out my own art, because you know, in the end, also videos are a way of expressing my art, and it's always been, and I always wanted to be somebody like that can showcase motivational stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way,
Well, yeah, like, no, I don't mean to cut you off, but like I said, like, I chose you because, like, when once I met you, you know, like, I saw you, like, when you're barely starting off doing your stuff, right? So that kind of, like, to see where getting your first camera to where you are now, you know, like, seeing you go through that process, like, at the same time, like, I learned to respect you, and it shows, you know, like, you also have kind of like the same mindset I have, where we've gone through different shit in our life, but we're literally always working to better ourselves and, like, literally, like, reach to the top, you know.
That's true.
So that's why I feel like you, like, I trusted you, you know, you could connect with me, and I feel like I probably wouldn't have been more comfortable with anyone else, like, you know, just letting them know something big like that.
I'm grateful for that. Yeah, we have to say that he's the one that got me my first camera. He used to own a camera, and I remember we were at work, and then I was telling him about, like, I wanted to buy a camera, and then that day, I think the next day we got paid, and then he's like, yeah, I got you the camera if you want it. He brought it, and then, well, you know, the rest is history. You know, I started doing photography, like, you know, for a hobby, but honestly, like, the way I see my life for now, well, in the upcoming months, I really wanted to become, like, photography. I want photography to become like something very, like, serious, you know, because I'm kind of trying to shift away from my job that I used to have, you know, which is shoes, but I want to do other things, you know, and like I said,
well, that's what everyone, bro, like, everyone transitions different things, you know. We all have more than one hobby. Everyone in life has more than one hobby, you know.
Yeah.
Or more than one talent. So we could love one thing one day, we'll be really great at it. But having a mentality where you want to grow, you kind of want to be great at a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what's good, you know, because you can always have different things to lean on and different experiences to grab from, you know.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's kind of what builds whatever, you know, that final purpose you have in life, or like that final job you have in life, you know.
That's true.
Like the little thing you have with everything, that's kind of what helps you out at the end.
That is true. So yeah, I feel like obviously we're young and we have a lot of stuff to go through.
Exactly.
And yeah, like, honestly, like, I do agree with him. I connect with him, and I said it on the podcast too, that you know, if it wasn't for you, we would a lot of stuff that I've been doing recently, I would have never done them, you know, because in a way we tend to push each other, you know. When we see each other doing something, you're like, okay, like, he's doing something, I gotta do my thing too, you know, because we don't want to, like, stay in the same position. We want to grow.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, this interview hopefully will bring a lot of hopefully brings peace to you, you know, after it's published, and hopefully it brings a lot of opportunities for the both of us, you know. But yeah, guys, I feel like this is how we're wrapping it up. One-on-one sessions with me, by Marts, and then the homie Graffiti Supply. That's right. So thank you, guys.